Yeah, I'm allowed to wear nice clothes. There are currently 4 movies in the DC Cinematic Universe. Man of Steel, Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, Ow My Toe, and Wonder Woman. Let's refresh on those movies before today's topic. Man of Steel is boring. The plot meanders and unimportant issues are over-explained. The movie could have been half as long and twice as good, though the dark and gritty tone doesn't even fit the popular image of Superman. It is actually, in fact, so boring that I, someone who is incredibly easy to entertain, couldn't sit through it. It is, without a doubt, the worst movie that I have ever seen, in my personal opinion. Suicide Squad is bad for several reasons, most of which I'm not even going to talk about. The editing sucks twofold. How they cut the scenes makes the movie feel like a trailer, and the colors were turned up in the black, gray, and beige backgrounds and way down on the colorful characters, and the low contrast made everything blend together and look hideous. Half of the characters served no purpose in the movie, and the other half were boring and poorly written. BVS was hilariously incompetent. Unlike Man of Steel, it was doing too many things, and important things were skimmed over in favor of worthless things. Character development was non-existent, and there is an entire Lois Lane side plot that sets up a payoff that could have been achieved without wasting time learning about the origins of a stupid bullet. Its awfulness actually made it somewhat enjoyable, though, especially compared to Man of Steel or Suicide Squad. Call it the Room of superhero movies. Wonder Woman had so much potential to be awesome, but it falls just short into the realm of mediocrity. The casting was great, the setting was great, the color palette was great, but the writing was horrible, especially in the beginning and the end. The middle was pretty good, and almost ruined the narrative. Fortunately, it's not actually a bad movie, just flawed, the best of the bunch. I especially praise it for its heart, its ability to have me invest emotionally into Wonder Woman's character. Not many movies these days can do that. Take notice that 3 out of 4 of these movies directly involved Zack Snyder in some way. He directed BVS and Man of Steel and was a writer for Wonder Woman. I also don't believe it's unreasonable to think that he inspired most of Suicide Squad. 2017's Justice League is also directed by Zack Snyder, so I'm expecting it to be garbage as well. So, the only information I could really acquire from the trailers is that Batman and Wonder Woman are assembling the Avengers. Excuse me, I mean the Justice League. Avengers was actually a good movie. The fact that I couldn't get much information out of the trailer leads me to believe that it's going to be a lot like BVS. It'll be confusing because the story will be much simpler than the way it's told, which doesn't usually work out. Exhibit A, the aforementioned BVS. I have absolutely no idea how to summarize that movie because for as long as it is, the whole thing feels padded. So many things that happen feel irrelevant, and it makes for a confusing mess of a narrative. This movie is going to be a lot like that. The League is going to fight a guy. That's it. I'd assume Darkseid, but the trailer didn't clarify that. But so many pointless events are going to happen that are just going to make the movie feel like a chihuahua with ADD that can't sit still and pees everywhere. From observing the trailers, I'm going to assume that I can rank the characters from best to worst, or favorite to not. The Flash is going to be the best character, as he seems humble and light. However, he might also be slightly annoying because he's the new guy and is as well a pacifist. Wonder Woman was the best thing about her movie, so I'm clinging to that. Ben Affleck actually played Batman way better than I thought he would. He's no Christian Bale, but he's also not George Clooney. Aquaman seems like an irritating character that isn't going to serve much purpose. Cyborg seems to have a god-awful actor, just based on the trailers. Henry Cavill is the worst Superman ever, and yes, he's going to be in the movie. That's the only thing the trailer didn't neglect to spoil for me. This movie is going to be too self-aware of the cracks and flaws within the DC narrative itself, which is going to destroy any sense of immersion for the audience. It's also going to try way too hard to be funny. These are both assumptions made by analyzing the biggest problem with the other DCCU movies, the writing. Zack Snyder doesn't seem to know how to write interesting characters and therefore makes them spout stupid one-liners to make you like them. The man is a fantastic director of action sequences, I'll give him that, but that does not make him a good writer, and that aspect is much more important than any action sequence. I don't think this movie is going to be any different from BVS because of how people like to blow Zack Snyder and tell him that one was good. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not getting my hopes up. If I had to guess, it's going to be worse than Wonder Woman, but maybe better than BVS. However, it may also be worse than BVS because it's going to be even less focused. I don't know yet. I'll give you a full review when it comes out. God help me, I've promised to see it.